Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
And I'm Chemda, and you should get Keith's new album available now. You can go anywhere on our social media, on our website, keithandthegirl.com, on iTunes. It's called I'm Dating Your Mom. And you should just look at the artwork. Keith Malley's I'm Dating Your Mom, available now. Get it now.
I mentioned this yesterday, but maybe you're like, is he dating my mom? Track 6 will tell you. Okay, so take a look. Today's guest, ladies and gentlemen.
And others.
Known for his viral web series, I'm Walking Here. We'll get into that. I love it. He goes into, let's say, Grand Central here in New York, for example. And he shows you the nooks, the crannies. This place, it looks like a video game that wasn't finished, some of these levels. Also, a new podcast that he has. 13 episodes. I'm hooked. Am I the asshole? He goes into that Reddit section. Am I the asshole? I killed my son. But he didn't finish his homework. And then, people debate about that, believe it or not. Here he is. Your pal and mine. Elite status on Yelp.
Oh, this is about to be sad.
What? Won a KATG award for going out there and making the world a better place. Danny Vega.
Guys, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, buddy.
I come to you bearing bad news, and I really don't know how to break it to you.
What?
I'm no longer Yelp Elite. I slipped. I wasn't writing the reviews. I embraced positivity and I lived and I lived. And
so you would go to a place. Let me explain what's going on. If people aren't in the know, go and find out right now. It, of course, opened this show back in November. This show was called Elite Status. I mean, this is your name.
You're embarrassing us.
Episode
I'm so sorry.
2982, way back in the 2000s. Elite Status.
3,000 episodes almost.
Elite Status within. Well, stories like yours keep it going. It did. Elite Status, and you talked about working at Yelp. You're a top reviewer, and now you're saying you would just enjoy life, go into a place and eat the food. Talk to maybe a loved one about it, and then have intercourse and call it a day. And Yelp says, no. You're not on top of it. You're starting to become a human being, not a judging weirdo. We don't need you.
I'm one of the normal reviewers, just like you. I put my review on Yelp, and it just says my name, and that's it. There's no little elite red badge.
What was it, like a red hamburger?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I don't appreciate that either as an ex-elite.
So you're still holding on,
red
right?
label. It's a pretty red label. It's not a burger,
right.
Keith.
What does it look like? A ticket?
It looks like a nice like placard.
Okay.
It's nice.
It is funny how I take that for granted. I never even noticed.
Well, yeah, because you're like a Fuddruckers guy.
Right. Well, do you read Elite statuses and be like, fuck you?
Oh, no, they're still more credible. I still respect the institutions of our society.
Okay. But you don't miss it?
I don't miss it. I don't need it anymore.
Did you ask them for another chance?
Well, all you have to do is write more reviews. But I think
how about can I quickly make a Ma and Pop cry? Like, is there something I can do to get back in good graces?
I do miss that. I love the idea of ruining a small business.
Yeah.
I love the idea of someone being like, my dream is to have a cookie store, and me being like, well, your cookies aren't fresh and they're not hot. I went to a bakery at 9 p.m. and I wanted to be hot.
Right. They said 75% of restaurants fail, and you were like, not with me. 95.
80.
Right. 80.
Did you cry when you lost your status?
I did. Yeah, I had a little ceremony.
How long did it take before you could maintain an erection again?
I still can't.
How long ago was this?
This was, I would say, this year. I'm no longer 2019 elite.
Wow.
So it's gone.
What about the yearly party of bullshit? You guys all get together once a year.
A lot of it was drinking. I don't drink, so I don't miss that too much. I mainly miss being condescending and, putting out the lower and middle classes. Yeah. Most of the people in food service are.
Because you would go to a wine bar and then give them a bad review saying, I don't drink.
Exactly.
And you can't do that.
This is terrible. Everything here is inedible, I would say. This is unbelievable. This place sucks.
Oh, man.
You and your girlfriend are still okay?
We're good. It's a little tough. She's like an elite lawyer. She works in Big Law. Have you guys heard of Big Law before?
Yeah, I have.
Big tobacco.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're being squished by it right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. They're ruining society. Yeah.
But she's an important lawyer.
Very important.
So this Yelp thing is kind of all you had.
Yeah.
No offense to the videos.
Fair.
I like them, but I'm not going to fuck you for them.
Right.
That
was my biggest claim to fame.
Oh, man.
No, and it's fading, She's working 90 hours a week.
Could she, let's say once every 6 months, fuck somebody that has Yelp Elite status.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, you'd understand.
Yeah, as long as she was drunk. That's my policy.
sure.
Drunk hookups only. You know.
And then she'd review it to you.
Right, but they need to be Yelp Elite 2018 and 2019. I don't want any new blood, new money.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I want a couple stars on that lapel. You know what I'm talking about. The generals, if you will.
Do you see each other at all? She works 90 hours and you work nights.
No, but it's going great.
We see each other a ridiculously little amount. Sometimes
Like you high five on the way out and in.
there was literally a day last week where we said one sentence to each other. It was just like, "Hi, I see you're here. Good night," and fell asleep. It was pretty messed up.
He means when somebody goes, I see you, he means literally, I see you here. There you are. I got to go. now.
She laid in bed. I woke up after her and went to sleep before her. It was kind of emasculating. It's like, you're just owning me so hard. And now I can't write a review to ruin a dreaming man's life who wanted to start a muffin store in Bushwick.
I would like to mention something. Now that you're a regular person, this could help you. Hello Fresh. I'm talking about a meal delivery kit.
Every time.
America's #1 meal kit. Get easy seasonal recipes and pre-measured ingredients delivered right to your door. All you have to do is cook and enjoy. And I use this and everything's fresh. My girlfriend, very, very picky eater, always impressed.
Yeah, and the pre-measured stuff is the most important to me because there was a lot of times I didn't want to look at a recipe because I didn't want to do so much measuring.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have like a cup for this and a spoon for that. And what's the difference between a teaspoon and a tablespoon?
Mm-hmm.
Just give it to me.
Makes cooking delicious. That's what Hello Fresh does. All right? I'm Yoda over here. But you know what? You find something so interesting, you feel wise. Okay? Break out of your dinner rut with our 17 seasonal chef-curated recipes each week. Each week you can pick from 17 meals. Oh, my God.
Hello, Fresh.
Yeah. That's where they got their name. What do we call it? Hello? Fresh. There's something for, like Henda said, there's something for everyone, from family recipes to calorie smart and vegetarian. They got the different categories. And yes, you're not locked in. You can go, I want to be calorie smart today.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to be a pig today. You can change it. Right?
You can turn into any animal you want.
Yes.
Not just a pig.
Right. Right.
You have your own imagination.
Right. It says host must mention a minimum of 4 bullet points. I want to mention them. In fact, try to stop me. Okay? Make your delicious meals. That's got to be one.
Point.
They don't really list them nicely. I don't know where I'm supposed to guess which ones are points. But you can finish meals in like 30 minutes. I do them in under 29. 2 points. Grocery stores words, 3 points. No, say goodbye to grocery stores.
And say hello, Fresh.
Right. I'm counting that as a point. No, I love them. I use them and I love them. I don't know what else to tell you. I'll cook the whole family now. I'll cook for the whole family. Well, I don't cook the family. I gotta be clear about that. No, I cook for the whole family. Okay. What do I love most about it? I said. What are they rating this for? Somebody that doesn't love it? I love it. Make 2 copies. One for a real maroon who never tried it. And one for somebody who became a real chef. Thanks to Hello Fresh. And then I'm happy to just tell you about my personal blah, blah, blah. Okay. Get $80 off your first month of HelloFresh. Go to HelloFresh.com/KATG80. That's $80 off your first month. HelloFresh.com/KATG80 and enter KATG80.
Why is that the thing you say the fastest?
Right. HelloFresh.com/KATG80 and then enter KATG80 so that they know you mean it. Okay?
Danny, did you catch that?
I didn't.
There'll be a test later. HelloFresh.com/KATG80.
It's like receiving 8 meals free, or you can look at it, you get $20 off your first 4 boxes. Either way, it's cash money. You know about the U.S. Treasury? No. You will now. Learn about money. Learn about cooking. All right. That's right. Hey, by the way, I was talking about your series, I'm Walking Here, which I think is hilarious. And in fact, somebody from New York City was looking at one of the videos, it might have been the Grand Central one, and saying, you know what, you actually brought something to our attention. This city is shit. And we're going to work on cleaning things up. You were at a party once, I know. And a couple
Right.
was arguing about your video. What could they be arguing about?
Well, so they came at me because they felt I had roasted Marlboro, New Jersey, which is as terrible as it sounds.
Right.
And he goes, "Oh, you were selective about what you picked, and that's not true." And I was like, "No,
This guy sounds great in bed.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
I was
that's it.
like, I drove around and found your abandoned psychiatric hospital. Like, I didn't even try that hard. That's just one of the prominent things you would notice if you drove around. I was there for like 4 hours. And so he's coming at me, and then he goes, "Why did you do Marlboro?" And I go, "Oh, well, I knew this girl." And he goes, "Oh, my God, that girl, that's my ex-girlfriend's best friend."
Okay.
So I send a selfie of me and this guy to her, okay?
Okay.
She then texts him, and then his girlfriend sees the text, and she starts losing it. I mean, she's pretty drunk, but she's like,
Right.
"Why are you texting your ex?
boy.
What's this all about?" And so then he calls me over. He goes, "Bro, can you please tell her what happened? Because I'm in a lot of hot water."
Because you know what? If I tell her the truth, the story's so goofy, it seems like a lie.
Exactly.
Well, this guy makes a video of bad places. And I said, no, you only show bad things, not boring good things, like we happen to have a school somewhere. And no, he's like, just tell her.
But you know what's great? That relationship is usually trusting. It was just
Right.
this that threw it off.
Right. It's totally healthy otherwise.
Yeah, yeah. It's totally great. Totally great.
And do you say something to her?
Yeah, I told her the story.
I don't know what he's
and-
talking about.
Yeah, he's totally full of it.
And she forgave him, and now they have kids.
Yeah, she let it go, and then she also then tried to bring me in to help her cause because she has Rent the Runway. Are you familiar with Rent the Runway?
Yeah, use code KATG.
Oh, my
Probably.
God, everything. And he
Let me
goes-
tell you what I used to do on a runway. I'd roll around it. I'd do the worm. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, well, you explain.
You're supposed to present yourself nicely, but Rent the Runway is you pay $150 a month and you get 4 out. It's like a subscription service for like super nice clothes. And so
Okay.
he's like, "Oh, she's spending all my money on Rent the Runway."
And she asked you to stick up for her?
Yeah, and well then, because my girlfriend does Rent the Runway, so I'm like, "Well, it's good. I don't have to shop with my girlfriend." Now I'm like in this now I have to like live in their house.
You're
for
in their
a year.
life,
I'm
yeah.
in their life. I don't know what happened. It's a weird
Oh
party.
boy, I hope they go home and think about the conversations that they had at a party.
Right.
Tell her.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you don't drink. You hear all these stories.
Ugh.
Do you, when you're at a party, and do you enjoy other people getting drunk and be like, hey, this is what I do? I quit drinking and I love singing.
You quit drinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because you were out last night and I saw you drunk.
Yeah.
No, I mean right now.
This is your first time. No, there's a point when it's very enjoyable. I think when people loosen up, they drop their barriers, 1 to 2, even 3 drinks. But once you start to get in the 4 drink zone, then you're getting like sloppy sentences. People can't listen. You can't have a good conversation. So I don't like that part.
I don't like it because I'm like, you're not listening and this is not a podcast. I'm going to have to repeat myself.
Right.
Like, you're not going to be able to rewind this. Or I forget that people are drunk because I'm not. And so I've been talking to somebody for a while, and then I realize, fuck, you're not here. Who
Right.
gives a shit? I've been
Right.
talking to the wall for an hour.
I've realized, though, you can just walk away and they think it's them. That's fun. And then you watch them stumble over to the cheese plate. That's fun. Acting like they're just looking at each piece of cheese. Like, I wonder. Instead of, they're stumbling all over the place. So the podcast I mentioned, it's called Am I the Asshole? And you know what? We read one of these on our show some time ago. This woman said...
Okay, so this woman and this guy did not sleep with each other. He said for religious reasons, so she went with it. She's not religious. Then they got married, and on the honeymoon, his penis was so small.
So small.
Micro penis.
You know this.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Yeah,
It's
so
a good one.
so small that she thought that he was using the religious thing as a rouge, and she was
Right.
coming on there to be like, "Hey, was I what's the word,
Am I-
bamboozled,
Right.
or do I have a point here?" And I think they're both idiots. What the fuck are you doing? That's like not wanting to talk about a major thing, but then just getting married. It's like Keith and I went into business together, but how are you with money? No, don't tell me.
Right.
We're gonna
Right.
find out the exciting way. Very good business sense. Very good marriage idea.
By the way, Hemda, I have a micro penis.
Okay.
So supposedly he saw her write that and say, hey, I'm suing you now.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll hold any water.
Right.
I think it just
But-
lets everybody knows what size his penis is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't sue unless it was tiny. But you guys really thought they were both. I felt like he was rushing it because that was another part that it only happened in 6 months. So he was kind of pushing her, manipulating her, being like, let's go, let's get married.
Well, either way, he's trying to lock it in
Trying
and
to
not
lock
saying
it
about the
in.
penis.
Yeah, I think the whole thing was a manipulation. I think when you leave sex out of a marriage or an important thing out of a marriage, like even maybe like moving in with each other, although I think that could take longer, I think that you start rushing into marriage because you want that thing.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're not having sex, it seems logical to get married after 6 months. I'm sure he was pushing it because she can't get out if she's married.
Right.
That's it, Keith. You're podcasting with me for life. Try to get out of our contract.
No, it is. I think one couple in the relationship should get to use that website, and that's it. You know, it's like a diary. You don't use the same book. You know. So I look at some topics that you had. Am I the asshole? And you have for cleaning the house as a birthday gift for my wife, and then of course there's the whole story. But
So does that mean that's usually his wife's duties?
you're right.
Yeah, exactly. He cleans the house for his wife, and then, it's her birthday. And then he goes, me and the kids clean the house. Isn't that great? And she was like, no, this is not a good gift. This is not thoughtful. And then he was like, oh, am I the asshole? And everyone's like, yes, you're an asshole. That's not nice.
I don't follow this. I let you curate them. I don't follow the section. But does it turn into people trying to fuck the person that wrote to have sex with the person that wrote the original comment? Like, well, I can't believe he did that to you. Come over to my house. I'll
Boy, we're
cook.
learning a lot about Keith, huh?
Well,
That's a
I learned.
weird
Well,
way
wake
for this to go.
wake up to the
That's a
internet. I
weird-
don't mean to blow your mind, but check your fucking apps.
Hey, what's Periscope? Is that for live broadcasting you fucking people? Is that what that's for? The
I don't
new
know.
app?
I don't know what Periscope you guys are on, but I'm hearing something about DMs, etc. I can't imagine that it wouldn't be that way. Like, oh, he has a micro penis. He's a jerk. Leave him. I'll fuck you proper. I have to imagine that's how
I'm
it is.
sure it's happening on there. There was one where a guy.
I love when guys, and I really do love this, but it's just a little ironic that you guys always expect the worst from each other.
Sure.
But then when we're like, guys are fucked up. Whoa.
Not all men. Not all men.
What can I say? I don't know. You're basically telling me if I go home with this guy, he's going to rape me and you don't know him. Can I say he's an asshole or is he just a rapist?
Well, it's like, don't pick on my retarded brother. I do that. It's that kind of thing.
There was one where a guy he masturbated to his friend's pictures on Reddit for a while. So she was posting nudes of herself anonymously, not with her face.
Right.
He found her account using her laptop, and so he says, "Hey, I feel bad, but they were publicly posted pictures. I just happened to find out about them." And sure
Using
enough,
her laptop.
yeah, he had gone onto her laptop because she had like 1,000 notifications, and he's like, "Oh, well, what are these?" Clicked it, found her sort of naked picture account. Remembered that those existed, and then was jacking off to them for over a year.
Wow.
And this goes along with what you were saying is that, the comments were like, yeah, what's her username? Let me get her username.
Right.
I want to jack off to these pics.
I want to find out who's right.
I need it for my judgment, all right? Fishnets, I'm in.
Well, is he an asshole? Yes, but he could stay like a quiet asshole.
Well, he told her.
Oh,
so that everyone
come
said he's the asshole.
on.
And then he told her boyfriend, too.
What?
Yeah, it was a real nightmare.
Why?
Because it's not sure, like, he told her boyfriend so that he could feel like he was in the right.
You're stupid. Not you, Danny. You're wonderful. But that's dumb.
He told the boyfriend that. What was she doing with these pictures?
No, he was jerking off to her pictures.
Well, no, she was posting them to Reddit anonymously, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is a thing.
Well,
people
he
do.
wants the boyfriend to break up with her so he can fuck her.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Everything's so simple.
You're right. It's
That's
really
the
not
answer
that
to every
complicated.
goddamn thing.
What,
Yes.
that men are pieces of shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Am I the asshole for? Here is another topic. Not paying for a concert ticket I didn't want. I hate that kind of stuff. Do you want to go out? I'll go. I guess I'll go. And then, okay, here's what you owe me.
That's the exact situation.
But
Yeah, you
is that
nailed
what
it.
happened?
Yeah, it was a girl and a guy, exactly what you just described. It was like, and she was like, "Oh, I can't really afford to go." He's like, "Come anyway." And then a month and a half later, she gets the bill. You
Right.
know, pay for it.
It's fish. Yeah.
No, you don't pay for it.
It's ridiculous. You gotta say
No.
that up front.
Up front, absolutely. Here's how much it costs. And if I don't hear how much it costs, you're gifting it to me.
Right.
You just want to go with someone, you're welcome.
Am I an asshole for not attending my boyfriend's wedding? Well, it's not your boyfriend anymore,
Attending your
right?
boyfriend's
I
wedding.
guess they mean ex-boyfriend.
Well, yeah, I'm not attending my boyfriend's wedding.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah. Do you write this show?
No, I pick random stories to put on the covers.
Am I an asshole for axing nephew's college fund after he called my wife a big bitch?
Yeah, so this one's interesting. We can get into some drama on this one.
Sure.
So basically, the story is this kid had a college fund put together by his uncle.
Okay.
And so the kid is a punk ass 16-year-old, and he thinks it's funny for whatever reason to take a picture of his aunt's underwear. She had big underwear. She was obese. Calls her a big bitch on Instagram. And they all follow her. So they all knew right away. It's not a great crime. And so the uncle's like, well, we're not going to pay for him to go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was his conclusion. And so this got into an interesting discussion because I found
There's a discussion about this.
There's a lot of discussion. So we have a Facebook
What was
group.
and I don't blame him, but what did the big bitch thing? Because it might be up to her.
Well, the big bitch left it. I shouldn't phrase it that way.
Well, I don't know her
She
name.
left BB. She left it to him, I think, in his courts.
Okay.
But she didn't want him to. But she didn't make the decision for him.
Right.
But I took a pretty controversial position on this. I feel that this boy is an asshole. But since this is college, this is exactly the kind of person that I think should have support and should have.
Yeah, it's like I see what you're saying. It's like OJ's pension. Some things are beyond the pale, but still, you be a human. Don't touch his football money and let this guy go to college.
I like what Joanna's saying on our YouTube live page. He doesn't sound smart enough for college. That was dumb. Like
Right.
that's you just.
But that's the whole idea of college is that you go to
No,
college
it's
to get
not.
smarter.
Do you?
I think so. You want to be exposed to how are you supposed to
But
be
you
exposed
ha-
to feminists and other smart people.
But you have to want that because you can go to college and just be partying, drinking, and failing out. Especially if you're not paying for it, you have no thought about what it even means. If you're getting it for free, then who gives a shit?
I feel that really the thing is that this is not the time to back off from this kid's life. The uncle needed to step in. This wasn't a step back and cut him out. So whether or not he paid for the college, but I think he needed to say, look, my wife's not a big bitch. You're a big asshole. It's time to straighten up. And I'm your uncle and I'm in your face now. And I think just cutting off the money felt very vengeful to me, and I don't think that's appropriate.
Well, he didn't just go out and spend the money, so the money can always come back. How about a Christmas card? And he says, from Uncle Joe and Big Bitch, I hope you have great holidays. And then see how he wants to play it.
How about get into college? Because, okay. And then, because you're making such dumb mistakes, you're probably going to say something about the college on Twitter and at them like a
Right.
fucking moron. Go to college.
What if Big Bitch is the thing he keeps saying? Like, I just had an interview with this Big Bitch. Hashtag whatever, Fortune 500.
Yeah, sure. But what about like the stipulation of afterwards? Like if you maintain at least a 3.0 or something like that, like if you take it seriously or go to your classes or show me how you try, then I'll pay for it. Because otherwise, I don't trust that you won't call your professor a big bitch for no reason because you have a
Right.
temper. You have a moronic temper. It's not even funny. If you were funny, I'd be like, okay, fine.
I want to see what he looks like.
Probably a punk ass 16-year-old, got his hair slicked back, holding his Nintendo Switch. Don't like him.
He loves it. He loves the Switch. Can't get him away from it. Punk. Probably thumbs his nose at authority. You know what I'm talking about. You know that look. Here's the one. Am I the asshole for throwing away my boyfriend's yogurt collection? Yeah, because
Yogurt?
yogurt collection.
He had a lot of yogurt.
You did it with spite, and you did it smiling and whacking off to your girlfriends over the phone. I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Keith, you got to learn more about this one, man. They had a 1-bedroom apartment with 3 fridges of yogurt.
Oh,
And yogurt doesn't keep. Doesn't matter if you got it in a fridge. It goes bad.
I thought it was
Does he keep having like yeast infections or something? What is going on?
The house smelled like sour yogurt. It
No,
was
you're
disgusting.
wrong for throwing out the yogurt. You throw out the dude. What
Right.
who are you
Oh,
staying
you
with?
say keep the yogurt.
Sure,
give it.
yeah.
Well, give it to the big bitch.
All these are in the same same neighborhood.
You have to assume it's Assholeville.
He did have rare yogurts. That was an interesting detail of this one. You know, there's rare Cuban yogurts, Iranian yogurts, very rare.
Yes, we know that different countries make yogurt. I think we're okay throwing out this dude.
Would it be nice to buy a freezer for him? and you keep them in the freezer and not the refrigerators.
I mean, they had a small apartment. You really want a yogurt freezer in there?
You make. Let me tell you. When I went to Landmark,
Oh boy.
they said if you want the advanced class, it's only $6,000 more $1 million. And people said, well, we don't have it. Our life's a mess. That's why we're here at the basic level in the first place. And they said, you put down $100 and the money will come. You have to put yourself in a bad situation and then the good will happen. So you force the freezer of yogurt in your one-bedroom place and then you'll get the mansion because you have to.
Oh, I was thinking he forced the yogurts in the apartment so she can finally force him out. She's like, oh, we need it to be this bad for me to understand I'm dating a fucking moron. He's a hoarder. Right?
He was from the Midwest, and one of the details she said is that he collected a lot of odd things. But in the Midwest,
We're using the word collected wrong, but okay, go ahead.
Well, he had a big garage in the Midwest where he would keep, like, old antennas and things. He was a hoarder. You're right.
Do you think it wasn't yogurt and it was sperm from the neighbors in Assholeville? Because, you never could enjoy them.
How does he eat yogurt exclusively?
He didn't eat the yogurt. He would leave it, and that was the big problem, is that it would just keep accumulating, and then the yogurt all went bad, and she said, my house smells like rotting yogurt. What am I supposed to do?
I'm on his side.
You're on his side?
Yeah. You're tolerating my stupidity this level. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, that's a shame. When I got to the third fridge, and you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then I go to work, and it's a big surprise to me.
Yeah, you like you less than I like you.
Okay, but hear me out. He brought in the mini fridge. The mini fridge excuse. You go, I'm so tired of walking
in the
to the
small
other
apartment.
fridges. Exactly. So I get a little mini fridge by the bed. Right. Boom, surprise, more yogurt.
But why does he have to walk over to it if he's not eating it?
Well, because he tricked her, because he's like, babe, I want to have here my Pepsis, at the bedside, as we're wont to do.
Right. Sometimes I get tired during sex and I need a quick boost.
A little Pepsi there. Use a coupon code.
I can't tell which one of them needs a therapist more. The one who was like, okay, just one more fridge. Or the guy that was like, I'm a collector.
Do you wish there was a way two people signed up together with their argument, almost like a court, on am I the asshole? And then the government kills the loser.
I would like that. I think that some of these people should be killed. For instance, there's a guy that ate all his girlfriend's lasagna.
Okay.
I think that he should really face severe penalties.
What happened?
She made lasagna from scratch, all the way from scratch.
Okay. Who's writing this story, by the way? The guy or the girl?
The guy.
Okay.
The guy wrote.
He doesn't know if he was an asshole?
Yeah, he doesn't know. A lot of these people don't know. They're very ignorant.
Wait, he ate the whole thing? He didn't
Well,
give her...
he gave it all away, and he ate some. But his girlfriend made a whole tray of lasagna. She puts it in the fridge, and he goes, hey, can I give the lasagna to my family? And she's like, oh, yeah, sure. Then he takes the whole lasagna, all of the lasagna, gives it all away. And she goes, that was my only food for the week. I don't have any food now. Will you buy me a sandwich? He goes, no, I'm not going to buy you a sandwich, and I'm going to post this on Reddit because they think I'm not the asshole.
So she gave him a solution of a sandwich, not even a lasagna that you have to make, or even a baked ziti, which might be a little simpler. No, I won't get you a sandwich. Okay, so does she chime in and go, am I an asshole because I'm still with this guy?
No, usually people don't know because people post anonymously. So they don't want to have their, family or whatever friends show up. Right. But people out themselves. I mean, most of the posts do go not the asshole, but there's more than enough assholes. People don't realize. They'll do something horrible and they're like, is it bad? Am I bad? Everyone's like, you're the worst.
Do they ever go, oh, I learned a lesson?
Oh, good question.
I would say that was about 75-25. 75 people go, okay, I get it. But then you go to 25 who starts arguing in the other comments, which is against the rules, by the way. They'll ban you if you do that.
Really?
And then there's
if
also...
you do what?
If you argue. There's no arguing.
Oh, you just post and let us judge.
You're allowed to clarify. Okay. You're allowed to answer questions.
There's rules to these idiots.
There's rules to the idiots, but you can't just go in there and start, oh, well,
Right.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. You've got to take your judgment. And then there's also people who will edit the post and start changing the story. They get a kooky. They can't accept it.
No. They're like, oh, and she killed my dog. It's like, no, you ate the lasagna.
Right. Right.
Okay, I have, and am I the asshole?
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
Is this a true story?
This is a true story.
Okay.
I found earrings in my bed. And,
Weird already.
Yep. And I was already not with the husband. But in order for the earrings to get in this location, it feels like people needed to be in my bed. You can't just throw them up there. Like it's a loft, it's on the other side.
They're pierced hair earrings. They're not for you because you don't have your ears pierced.
Yeah, I don't have earrings,
And your bed is lifted? It's a lifted loft bed.
Yeah. And I wrote on Instagram, found this by my bed. Only way to get there is to be in my bed. Doesn't belong to anyone I know, so I have to believe it belongs to one of my ex-husband's, quote, friends. But who knows, right? We probably had a great relationship where one partner thinks the worst when they see lovely earrings. So I did ask a couple people who I know like wear these kinds of earrings, and then I just kind of gave up after like 3 or 4 people and just said, fuck this, and I'm posting it on the internet. This weekend, I get a text from my friend Stephanie. Hey, I've been off Instagram for like a month. I just saw your earrings post. I am so sorry. It is my pair of earrings. And I go, no, I'm so sorry.
So
I threw them
Stephanie-
the fuck out.
Stephanie was fucking your ex.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
So she's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect it to be controversial. And I was like, no, it's fine because I didn't write, this is definitely one of my, ex's
Right.
people. Like, because I don't know any of that truth. I don't know who he actually touched and who he didn't. So, and I don't know if it was ever in my bed or not, but it felt like it was. So, but I wrote, but who knows, right? We probably had a great relationship where one partner thinks the worst when they see lovely earrings. So I knew even if I was wrong, that still shouldn't be the first thought in my head. The first thought in my head should be like, why did I put these earrings here? Or how, you know what I mean? So am I an asshole for posting that? When really I just asked 3 or 4 people. A lot of people have pierced earrings, and I posted it right away.
Well, wait, but how else would it be in the bed?
I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe when she stayed over at my place, she stayed up in the loft because my knee was fucked up, and I was on the couch.
Sleepover.
So yeah.
No, you're not. In fact, in your post, like you just said and repeated, you said, hey, you know what? Quite frankly, I don't even give a shit. Isn't it interesting that I have to go to a bad place right away?
Yeah, because that's how I felt. At first, I was like, oh, maybe these are like Andrea's. She's been looking for them. Or Julia makes her own jewelry. This looks like something. And I really liked them. And Andrea was like, well, if no one's taking them, I'll take them. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to see them on your ears either. So I'm throwing them out. Right. So now I feel bad because I threw out Stephanie's earrings. So
I say no assholes here.
Okay.
Were they valuable?
No, she said it was fine.
You knew they were cheap. You knew they weren't like worth holding on to, right?
Stephanie has horrible. Well, I don't want to get
Stephanie
into
has
it.
no taste.
Very sweet
Everyone
person,
knows that.
but
Super
when it comes to
sweet.
taste,
Super
it's
sweet.
like
Great,
all right,
beautiful eyes.
rustic, gorgeous eyes, gorgeous eyes. Burns a hole right through you in the good way. Lovely eyes.
And I really did like the earrings. I was like, oh, whoever this was, it's cute.
You couldn't keep them though; they were cursed.
Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't even think maybe this happened.
If you'd worn them, you would have fallen back in love with your ex-husband. So thank God.
That is how that works. I'm really glad I don't have my ears pierced.
All right, here's one. You tell me what you think. Okay, this is from the website. This is from Am I the Asshole? Let's see. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend that his friend is better in bed? Okay. My boyfriend and I have been together for about 5 years. After about a year into the relationship, he told me about a fantasy he had of sharing me with another man. I was on the fence about it. Till a few weeks ago, I went, fuck you, okay. I was on the fence about it until a few weeks ago when I finally agreed to it. We ended up having a devil's threesome. That means 2 guys and a girl, right? And his best friend.
Wait, does that mean that the 2 guys are not touching each other? Is that what the devil part is?
It just means, it means everybo's homophobic. It means if it's a threesome, I of course mean 2 chicks. If it's another dude, then it's like, fucking, this involves the devil. I felt like a piece of shit.
God loves a threesome with 2 chicks.
Right. You're doing heaven's threesome or devil's threesome? I'm embarrassed to say it's Satan's threesome. 666 with 3 people. We ended up having a devil's threesome with his best friend. Yeah,
why the best friend to begin
smart.
with? Why?
Yeah, and if you have a best friend, you probably have a good sense of humor of ribbing each other, so that'll be fun when that comes up sometimes. After it was over...
That's like doing it with your brother.
Yeah. After it was over and his friend had left, he asked me who was better in bed.
Well, that's the devil's question.
Well, first of all, you couldn't tell. You were there.
Yeah, right?
Who was better?
You remember.
Whoever asks is the worst.
So you were faking, right? With him.
Yeah. Who is better? Who's the most insecure?
I thought it was nice the way you kept giving him chances because he must have been so bad. After it was over and his friend had left, he asked me who was better in bed, and I told him it didn't matter because I love him no matter what.
Ew, all this stuff. First of all, stop putting her in that position because she has to lie to you in the worst way because this is not a good answer.
First of all, you just got your answer. I love you no matter what.
Yeah.
You just got your answer. He continued to pester me about it. So
He's a dick. Break up with him.
So I finally told him the truth. His friend was, in fact, better.
By the way, you're a dick, too.
This was a few days ago, and he's been giving me the silent treatment since.
Yeah, good. Bye.
So I've been living with his boyfriend.
Yeah.
With his friend.
What the fuck?
What do we think? You're the pro.
I mean, where I would start with this is, first of all, I like her, right? She was down. She was game. He wanted to do this. It was his idea, and she went with it. So I like her already. Then he asked her,
right?
And she said, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I love you.
We're just fucking around.
Exactly. She gave him the out, but he couldn't handle it.
No,
because he had an ego.
Yeah.
And then he begged for it. He wanted it, and then he got the truth, and he couldn't handle the truth.
With her, even though now she realizes, as if she didn't know from something else, that he's such a bitch, should she still have said, "You were better, honey"?
No.
I disagree. I think that's toxic. I think if he really wants to know, I think the question is stupid.
I think the question is stupid. That's why I'm breaking up with you, not because I
Right.
can't tell you the truth. I'm not about to
true.
start lying to you as part of my partnership because you're a little bitch.
Yes.
The truth is, you're a little bitch, and we're breaking up.
I mean, if you fuck someone all the time and then you fuck someone new, obviously the new person's going to be more exciting. I mean,
That
give
could
me
be-
a break.
That could be the only element that made
Absolutely.
it better, or just we're so jacked up. I want to, I'm feeling all kinds of things because I have two guys on me and you guys are not touching each other. So I really have a lot going on coming at me. So yeah, it could be newness, but it also could be this dude is better. Maybe there's a reason he doesn't mind fucking your girlfriend.
Right.
And you wanted it, and you
Yeah.
wanted him to get fucked by her. I mean,
Why don't you should have tested the guy by fucking him first?
You should call him up and take lessons.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's any getting around that he's the asshole.
Yeah.
She was honest. You can't hold that against
Do
her.
you ever wonder? Because I come to an answer pretty quickly. Do you ever really have to debate about? Let's think about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think some are very intricate, and you got to figure out what's really underneath
Right.
these. What
Like
are the
maybe
expectations.
Is his dead father? Was he a yogurt salesman? Right. You have to take everything
Right.
into account.
Was he in fact a big bitch because he wasn't very good in bed?
Right.
I think there's no way this guy could be good in bed because he doesn't understand how the bed works. You don't bring your best guy friend.
You
don't, if you're not interested in seeing a guy naked and possibly touching him, come into sexual acts with the girl that you actually give a shit about. You don't compare dicks. You don't compare moves unless you're trying to learn something, and you don't ask that afterwards. What part of sex is he good at then?
Right.
Like where
The
you
coordinating. He was good at the organization. He put the whole thing together.
But you don't think that the friend ever brings it up? Or does he get, hey, did she ever say anything about that thing? No. No. I guess I'll just,
Never talked about it.
I guess we'll just let it be. I guess that was it. But no, she didn't say nothing. I don't feel bad, but she didn't say nothing. No.
And by the way, are these friends that normally talk about sex? Because a lot of guys, I think women think guys constantly talk about sex to each other, but I don't know. According to Keith and other people,
Not with any real gravitas. No, there's no real words.
I think that we talk to each other about our sex life as females more, and we talk about like what we need and how it had. Look, the women are nodding their heads, and then when I go, "Did you talk about that with your friends?" Like, no, I don't want to know what's happening.
What do
with
I
my
need?
dick. Like,
I need
what?
my nuts emptied. What do I need?
Yeah, sounds like you should have a threesome.
Some are really controversial though.
Yeah.
Here's
Here's why I'm racist. Like that?
right. Like there was one recently where a woman and her husband were going out. They got like a camp. They're gonna go on a big family camping trip, and her sister and her husband wanted to bring along their girlfriend. They were poly. They had a girlfriend.
Okay.
And she wanted to say, hey, look, no PDA in front of the kids.
Okay.
I don't want any PDA. I don't want them to know that you have a girlfriend.
And they went into the kid's tent and made out.
No, that was it. She was
Oh.
stop. Keep your pants on. They, you know.
Well, okay. So here's the question about PDA, because I think straight, non, like regular heteronormative couples don't understand.
We call it binary.
You don't. Then that's
You
the point.
don't? What's binary?
Oh, I guess yes, you are
And
binary.
never
I
correct me.
apologize.
Okay,
Yes.
we just had June, and I learned it all.
Oh my god.
Stonewall,
Okay.
binary, A, B, C, D, F, G.
Okay.
There's nothing I don't know about
I
this.
apologize.
Killing it.
I
Okay,
apologize.
thank you.
But I think that that couple, and I have been in that couple, we don't realize how much PDA is happening from us. Like, we just understand that if we associate with each other, we know that there's a couple thing happening, even if we're not kissing, even if we're not holding hands. There is an intimacy that everyone feels comfortable about. Then when it's like a queer or poly thing, it's like, what do you count as PDA? You just don't want this person knowing that they have a girlfriend. So,
Well, they didn't want the kids to be exposed to the poly. That was their concern.
yeah, but so that means you have to hide your identity the whole time. It doesn't mean like don't start making out in front of our kids, which is I think that's reasonable to not be sexually active in front of the children. Even just like making out could be a lot.
Well, they said no kissing, no hand holding, nothing too intense. Do you think there's any harm in showing kids that people are poly?
I don't, because I think kids don't know that people are monogamous, really. They don't really know what's happening in the bedroom or in sex. They understand that there's a mommy and daddy. But if you, as children, explain that there is also a daddy and the mommy and mommy, they don't really flinch. They flinch once the third person comes in and dad's mad because it turns out the cheating was happening and there isn't love. So they flinch when there's aggression, but not if you just go, well, they found this relationship. No one's making out in front of you. Your mom and dad, they don't want to see their mom and dad making out. They don't want to see that kind of intimacy. So I don't think so. I think that we're not giving kids a lot of credit in understanding that there is a lot of different kinds of love. And I think we end up having to undo that instead of just acting like things are normal.
That's where I ended up. But I thought that one was a little bit more controversial because when I started it, I go, look, I don't think that kids should be exposed to poly. I think it's confusing for kids. It's non-monogamous, and I think monogamy is the standard way to go. And I think if you're going to kind of teach that to kids, then this poly could throw them for a loop.
Hey,
and
let them find out the lie the hard way, right?
Well, I remember this being for, gay couples. It's like, can you say that it's your roommate? And now I think kids more feel your lie and then get offended by that when they realize what sex actually is, what a roommate actually is, what your partner actually is. Then they go, oh, why didn't you just say that they're together? We could have loved them in that way, but they just don't have the words. You're explaining to them that there's only a mother and father that could love each other in very specific ways when you know that you have an example that's going to be, unless that third person is a fucking asshole, that's different. But you're going, can you just say that they're roommates or friends
Right.
and don't indicate this actual relationship? I think you're giving your kids a hard time before they get the hard time.
Right. I'm reading this story. A women's sex toy company.
Also, you'd be surprised how much kids don't give a shit who you love.
Right.
Like, okay, you have a new girlfriend? I'm going to go play with sticks because there are plenty of them on this campground. Like, nobody cares. Where'd you sleep last night? I don't care. Do I have a bed? Like, they're so selfish. Not even in a bad way. They don't know what you're doing back there. They don't give a shit.
Women's sex toy company Dame Products is suing the MTA, the subway system here in New York, for refusing to run its ads on the subway while putting up other racy ads for male enhancement pills, for example. That's in the lawsuit. And you know what? It's not even, to me, it's not even that, yes, there's the ads for guys. Why aren't there the ads for girls? Even the food ads is just, a woman's lips and the, grilled cheese dripping off her teeth. And it's like, oh, am I supposed to whack off here? Or? Mm-hmm. I know it's a test and I'm not, but.
And which one is the one that they didn't allow?
And they're not allowing, I'll explain it to you, but
okay.
a dildo company. In sex discrimination, they're saying it's sex discrimination by turning down suggestive adverts. They have vibrators, sex pillows. Oh, I have sex pillows, I guess. You just take a pillow and you have sex. I have sex quilts. I have sex. Let's see. You Come First was an ad. Toys for Sex. And they had a vibrator that looked like an eggplant. And MTA is saying, no, that's too much. And they're saying, well, I'm looking at your HIMS ads, HIMS, and it says real big, hard made easy. It's for guys to get a hard on. But you can have that, but you can't have women come first. Again, like kids are going to know either.
You know what else we have very prominently in the subway system? Boob jobs.
Yeah.
And all you see is like a woman's boobs, and it's like, wouldn't you rather live this life? That you're allowed to show your kids?
Right. It's all the ones that are for the guys, because it's the guys that are like, yeah, you should get this.
But
Right.
isn't there a difference between a pill and an eggplant that you're sticking in your vagina? I mean, that's a little... I don't know how dildos work. You stick it in, but there's a difference there, isn't there? I mean...
What do you mean?
Well, a pill, you know, you go, oh, yeah, he takes the pill, son. He takes the pill when their
Right.
penis is broken, and, oh, what's the eggplant?
How do I explain a grocery store to my kids?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. The court papers also point out Museum of Sex ads, which by the way, I do remember that. They would have two cantaloupes obviously being tits or, stuff like that. If you remember, female bus drivers last year said it was causing riders, people that were assholes, to, hit on the women like, sex, do you like that?
What?
Oh, God.
The MTA...
So who's being blamed for
That's
men
a
being
terrible-
idiots?
Right.
What's going on? By the way, just MTA, you can't do this. You have to decide that ads are fucked up because they are. They're insinuating you're not good enough. You need this. It's very much in your face. It's a tactic, and it's manipulation. It always is. Ads are always manipulation. So you can't be like, oh, we can have a Doritos ad, even though there's no nutritional aspect. It only showcases like how much, like it makes our mouth salivate. It makes your kids want it before they even develop their organs. But that's okay. So Doritos is okay, but not.
So you're cool with a fleshlight, though?
I'm not cool with any of it. And I think a fleshlight is no different than any of these things. Because being cool with things just means that it's okay for you to decide what my kids are going to see. Because I would take down those boob enhancement things. I would take down Dr. Zizmore because I don't need my kids thinking that they don't look good unless they look like who? That guy? Like, what the fuck is going on? Just all these advertisements. I'm not cool with my kids seeing any of them. I paid $2.75 to get on this fucking train.
Right.
Shut your shit down. The only advertising that they do is terrible. Is the goddamn running or not? How come you can't advertise that? But suddenly they're paying attention to fleshlights. Figure out your own shit. How come I don't understand the subway system?
But if it has to do with kids, what kid's going, so I fuck a flashlight? Like, you don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah,
I
but
think
a
it is-
dildo and a flashlight is different than a pill.
Well,
Then what's
But
the
you're
difference
saying
with
the
the boobs?
toxic effect. Yeah,
What's the
I
difference with boobs?
agree with
What's
that.
the difference with the guns in my face in all of these ads? You have like a gun pointing at you. What about the zombie ones that they loved scaring people at bus stops because the zombie looks like it's coming out at you? So that's
Right.
fine.
Or the for-profit colleges. I mean, there's all these horrible things
Yeah,
they promote.
the Bible quotes, that's okay. What is the difference between any of this? Your son understanding that he can fuck something and not be frustrated, or women come first is what? It's worse or
You're right.
better than the gun in my face?
The MTA has said it lets male enhancement ads run because they are for a medication, but adverts for sexual-oriented businesses violate their list of to-dos and not-dos. And
So what do you do with your boob enhancement? Is that medication?
Right.
Is that like, how are you qualifying any of this? Ads are disgusting. They're disgusting. Their whole point is to make you want something whether you need it or not. They're creating a desire that might not have been there, and they're wasting your money. But that's okay.
Right. Unless you're making food at home. The company first submitted ads to the MTA for approval in July of 2018, and the agency asked for revisions. They spent $150,000 to tweak the posters. The MTA said, no, we're not going to do it after all. They're suing for damages and approval to post the ads.
I love it. Good for them.
All right.
But what about when those comics were trying to put out a movie, The Muslims Are Coming?
Yes.
And they're like, no, they were suing them. I don't know if they won or not, but the MTA was like, no, this is controversial.
Right.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter if they want or not. They had to take the posters down during the big release. That's when the posters matter.
Remember when Adam Sandler put out that movie about, all of a sudden he has to take care of a kid and he doesn't know what to do. So he's peeing on a building with a kid.
Right.
And everywhere I went, I saw a grown adult peeing on a building with a kid. They're both facing the wall peeing. That's okay? Is that all right? Where should the kid put his dick then? In a fleshlight or on the fucking wall? Is that okay?
They need a fleshlight for peeing. That would really come in handy.
Maybe.
That's really just a diaper.
Yeah, but the MTA decides what's good for your children. This is good for your children. Pee on the streets of New York or wherever the fuck you want because you're with Adam Sandler.
Oh, you did see Murder Mystery. I knew you saw it. I knew it. All right, one more. Am I the asshole? I had a third date last night with this lovely guy I met on Tinder.
Ugh, you're wrong.
He's smart and makes me laugh. We went back to his place afterwards for some sexy times when I discovered he was wearing a G-string / lace thong.
Oh, boy.
Apparently his whole underwear drawer is just lace and sexy versions of feminine underwear. What do you mean apparently? Did he tell you or not? He's never worn boxers
It became apparent to her. That's neither here nor there how it did.
Right. He's never worn boxers or briefs. He only buys his underwear from Victoria's Secret and Ann Summers. It was an instant massive turnoff for me. We never hooked up in the end because my mood dropped. Am I the asshole for not wanting to see him again? He's a great guy otherwise, but I just can't wrap my head around this.
I would try to wrap my head around it.
You're already talking because you're discussing. Yeah, you're discussing Ann Summers. You're very clear. You definitely had a conversation. If you're skeeved out by anything, follow up with a little more. High heels when you're doing the dishes.
Her off, Keith.
Right.
She didn't like it.
Right, but
No, and I get that, and
It's not a communication thing.
But find out why you didn't like it because you're not obviously not sure, or you wouldn't rate on this dopey website.
Well, it was emasculating. It's odd.
I could see that being a turnoff. I could totally see that.
Sure, but she seems not sure. Unless some of these, you could tell some of these are like, I just want validation.
Oh, of course.
Right?
There's lots of validation seeking from these people. But look, I think this girl was turned off. It'd be no different than all the choosy things guys have. Oh, she got a big butt.
Then go to Reddit / I'm not an asshole.
Right.
Not am
There's
I.
a lot of uncertain people in the world. Not everyone's as confident as you, Keith. Unsure.
I can understand being unsure because it's such a bummer, really, most of
Right.
it. Like, all of it is a bummer. It's you really like this person, but, hey, if this thing turns you off, like if somebody has...
But she's unsure, so be unsure on a second date.
What is she unsure about?
If she's
an
an
asshole.
asshole.
But she feels guilty, right? Because there is something kind of guilty about it. It's like, look, this guy, for whatever reason, his skin likes undies, like little panties.
Yeah.
So it's
get
almost
it.
kind of bigoted. But, this girl has a right to her attraction, and she's not into that,
I understand that. I would only try to get over it because if this guy's so cool, maybe I'm just not used to a guy in lace underwear, and maybe I can. I know I totally get it.
It's not a good look.
For you,
Not that I've tried it.
That's the thing. Like,
today.
I haven't tried it. All the advertisers are saying that that's emasculating. So maybe I have gotten bad information inside of me for too long. Can I undo this? Because this guy, I obviously think he's hot. I was going to fuck him. This is a piece of clothing. I'm not blaming her. I think that, that's your libido either jingles or it doesn't. You know what I mean?
And it does jingle.
Yeah. So if it's jingling, baby, go ahead.
Andrea Allen, you're a freak.
Thank you, Keith. You're in such a mood today. What's going on? I have been in this exact situation, unfortunately.
So Keith is right in this instance.
Yeah, he's always right. It's so annoying, except for most of the time he's not. And I had this same internal "Am I a bigot?" dialogue. I think that's what she's asking.
Yeah.
Am I a bigot? Am I being like
Prejudice.
internally kind of like homophobic or like kink shamey because
Or emasculating him when he doesn't need to be.
yeah. But well, I don't know. But
Did you get into it? Did you?
yes, but it was severely a turnoff for me, and then we didn't really continue. We weren't really compatible sexually in a lot of ways, but
How long was this going on?
it was like a short, like a 3-month thing. Maybe.
3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, this woman didn't last a day.
But like casual. But I'm also like aggressively trying to be open minded all the time, and maybe that doesn't work out so well for me.
The knowledge, or was it actually seeing him in the panties where you're like, ooh, mama's out?
Did he have better panties than you?
Oh, certainly.
Okay.
Yeah, my panties are all rags. It was seeing him, and yeah, I don't know.
Can I tell you, as you're thinking about that, I also don't like silk underwear that a lot of people find sexy, like silk boxers. I don't know. I like cotton stuff, like even for myself. And lace comes out. Lace is very uncomfortable.
I hate lace.
It's in those private parts, like in your cooch, in your butt. It is just, listen, I'm trying out new words. Poon's going to come back if you keep looking at each other when I say cooch.
Right in that cooch, baby.
Yeah.
Right in that
That's
front
what
poon.
that's what lace feels like.
Sure.
It feels like it's in your cooch.
In your cooch.
Like it'll sneak up your snatch box?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's just, it's not, lace is not a comfortable feeling. And honestly, like even,
It doesn't feel good on the platypus lips? Okay, all right.
and even silk to me doesn't feel good.
It's also like, I remember maybe 5 years ago, I had a partner who was bi, and I was very turned off about that at that time, and my attitude has shifted, now. But I think it's like, I think it is a little bit internalized homo. Well, it's a mix. This one is a mix between, I think, preference and also internalized homophobia a
And
little
I think maybe a little more than homophobia, some of this is in the gay community, is the emasculation of things. When you think about it, there is no emasculation because we don't get to be emasculated. But I do feel emasculated. We feel the same way. Like when you say, oh, that's emasculating me, it would emasculate me too. We're just associating that with being masculine.
Well, we're associating femininity with weakness.
As negative.
Yeah. And so seeing it in a man is like seeing a man be weak.
If a guy's corrected in a shameful way, you know what I mean? It's emasculating. But the thing is we would all feel the same way to be shamed at our opinion and whatever. So we're counting women as like the lower. And so in the gay community, the more effeminate guy is considered lower. So it's really anti-feminist and also
I don't
the homophobia
know. I gotta
thing is
come
in
back
there.
on this. I don't think this needs to be a social justice war.
These rile me up because I don't have enough information. How did you know about the underwear? Was that a first date thing he was saying? Did you take off underwear to have sex and then, whoa, slow down. Tell me this story about underwear and Ann Summers.
Well, I think-
or was
I
the
think-
thong just showing because he picked something off the floor?
I think both are okay. You don't have to reveal that you're wearing a thong or lace.
I think you do. Yeah.
You just take it off like it's nothing.
No, I think you have to reveal. Yeah, absolutely.
you've got to
you do.
disclaim that. You can't just
Yeah.
take off your pants and reveal Victoria's Secret. Are you
Yeah,
crazy?
no, that's crazy.
But
That's also
Andrea-
dangerous for you.
Well, that's why I think.
Right, exactly. But it's like it. But we're talking about a world where everyone's okay with everything. There's.
I know. I'm talking about an ideal world. where you
Sure,
wouldn't
like
have
it's
to.
like when people say that like trans people shouldn't have to reveal that they're trans on a date, which is like we should be at a place in society where it's like that, but we're not because it's dangerous for trans
Yes.
people to not because people are bigoted. So that's a way bigger example than this, but like the guy who wore the underwear with me told me about it on the train ride on the way home. And I was like, okay, now I have to grapple with how I want to deal with this because we're going back to my place. And now I have to be like, do I like this? Do I not like this? Now we're going to my place. Do I?
Yeah. And Danny, and just for the record, I totally get being turned off by this, and I don't think she has to try again
Danny
or at
loves
all. I don't think that she should be convinced that she finds this attractive.
Right.
I really don't. I'm not speaking for her. I'm speaking for me. I would wonder. Yeah, I would know. Yes, I'm not attracted. It's just not what attracts me. But I would take that second consideration. I might not even sleep with them, but I would take the second consideration to know where that's coming from.
Sure.
I'm so attracted to them on so many parts,
Right.
that I would have to try.
Well, that's
but
what
that's me.
But I don't know that we see eye to eye on what masculinity is because I don't think. Well, first of all, I think if your impression of it as a guy is just like, oh, someone called me wrong. No, I'm not mad. I mean, I'd be like, that's ridiculous. But if I saw a girl wearing my boxer. I mean, my girlfriend wears my boxer all the time. It's not a turn off at all. But I think if she saw me cross-dressing, that would affect her.
But that's
I
our
don't think that-
social norms, right?
Well, yeah, but I don't think that makes her a bigot. I think, or I don't think
But
that preference is inherently wrong.
But beforehand, beforehand women couldn't wear pants, and it was a shameful thing that people were turned off by it, and we had to get used to it. There used to be a time where men also wore tops and couldn't show their boobs either, and we had to get used to that. I think we're just deciding what we're getting used to.
Well, it's
you know
like
what
my
I mean?
bi example. It's like
I'm confused with your bi example because you said attracted and then you used the word preference. So I'm like, prefer is different. Like, do you feel like your attractions have shifted?
No, I think I've just shed misogyny and homophobia naturally as our society has progressed. I've progressed. So like, it's kind of like Sex and the City is a great example of this. Is like, back when I watched Sex and the City when I was a teenager, there was an episode about Carrie dating a bi guy or wanting to, and then deciding that she was grossed out by him because it was like gay seeming.
Well,
and
sorry, what was Samantha doing across town?
And that used to be like the universally kind of accepted view on bisexual men, that it was a step. They were gay, but they were pretending they were bi, and that you should avoid them because really it's just a gay man.
And it's also too effeminate for how we want to sleep with our men. Like, I didn't realize, because I had some of that also. It's like,
it was normal. That was like considered.
I didn't say it, but I felt a tinge. Same way where, like, if a straight friend said, like, oh, I tried being with a guy, I started feeling nervous for them.
Yeah.
I started feeling like, you're going to have to deal with all this, and what does that make you? It was just because society decides what we're getting nervous about, we can go with that flow, or we can decide where we got that information from. That might change our minds about what we find attractive.
Yeah.
Because it has happened.
But you're not ready to go so far and say she's the asshole for being turned off by this.
No, she's not an asshole.
But you're saying this is a moment of introspection for her. She needs to look deeper.
She doesn't have to. No, it could just turn her off. A smell of someone could be very wonderful to me. It could turn you off. I think
she should look into it.
She
should look into it.
But I don't expect her to. Like, if she just wants to be turned off, I think we should just allow her to be turned off.
I think she's already looking into it by even posting this, though. Like, I think that's the reason. True. She's like, it's not am I the asshole? It's like, am I homophobic? Am I a bigot?
Am I closed off?
Am I being closed off because this guy has a kink? And
or is this a kink? If we, if we normalize some other stuff, like if we normalized men wearing dresses, which, oh God, I think you guys are so gonna enjoy that.
Oh yeah.
If we accepted it,
oh
it's
yeah,
so nice.
Like, you guys got balls hanging. You would benefit from it more than us.
You would love it if you
jingling, baby.
If you can go out in a beard and a dress, and you wouldn't have to like be confronted, or wouldn't have to like worry about what you have to do because of that. I think we would accept it, you would accept it, and we would all move on. And then 100 years from now, we would forget that was a stupid thing that we tried to do. We did the same thing with women. We were not allowed to wear pants. It was shunned. It was like gasped. It was just not made. It wasn't done. But we got used to it.
I wouldn't mind makeup.
Yeah.
You could use it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you, Andrea. Thank you,
You're
Andrea.
welcome.
And it looks like I was the only one paying attention
Resident
in June.
freak. Excuse me. Goodbye.
3 months.
The thing I've noticed, and I like that you pointed out, Andrea, that like she, this person asked. They asked, like, these people are coming, and you're like, oh, well, they're obvious, Danny. A lot of them are validation.
I'm asking.
A lot of them are, but they don't know better. People don't know better. Like, I think a lot of young people post. I think a lot of inexperienced people post, and people don't know sort of like what are the boundaries that I can stay in to be an assertive person, an aggressive person, or an asshole, and find the middle of that. And I think one insight I've had is that a lot of people have internalized unassertiveness. They think they're going to be an asshole because they're not used to like saying what they want. Like they won't send food back at a restaurant. They won't tell their partner, "Hey, I don't like when you do that. Take the panties off. Those are a turn
I want your
off."
entire tray of lasagna. Right?
So I think that a lot of people, and I certainly feel like I've learned a lot from kind of studying these posts.
Well, that's what this podcast is about. It's about growing. It's about what do you do if you're a big bitch. It's about what happens.
You're right, Andrea. There's something going on. He said the R word. The whole thing is flying today.
I'm on a date.
I think we gave him a little bit too much. It's like, oh, June's over. They had their fun. This is the most cis straight fucking white man response to everything.
This is the straight pride parade that follows.
Yeah,
I'm on a
he's fine
date
now.
and you're wearing my underwear, right? There's a lot of stuff you can glean. So download the podcast. All right?
Am I an asshole?
Am I the Asshole? The podcast. Follow Danny on Twitter, Danny Vega Comedy, Instagram. Danny Vega sucks. I didn't write it. YouTube, just Danny Vega, okay? So he likes to keep you guessing. Yeah. The podcast on Twitter, AITA. That, of course, stands for
Am I the Asshole?
Am I the Asshole Pod. AITA Pod on Twitter. Instagram is spelled out. Okay?
Well, you have more characters on Instagram.
I've got to redo my whole branding strategy now.
Let people wonder.
Am I the A-hole Pod on Instagram. And the website, the general website, AITApod.com. Love it. Love it. Why did we bother coming here today? I don't know, but I did have fun with you. Okay?
Thank you so much for
I always
having
do.
me. And it's been my dream to have my website read out, ad read style. I mean, it was everything. It was everything to me.
It says, say 3 reasons why you like this.com. I want to. Assholes is like my thing. I've been talking about it my whole life. You know, et cetera.
The list goes on.
The list goes on.
Don't forget to share this episode if you liked it. That's how we can make more episodes.